being in this atmosphere also, being in this lifestyle, if you can do something.
How we can easily go back to our natural lifestyle?
Yeah.
That's your question.
Yeah. At this stage.
At this stage. we should understand as best as possible that this is the natural way that majority of people should live, and even though we've been away, most of us, even though, like you rightly are mentioning, you're from that background, we're brought up in village, but then, like so many others, somehow you ended up in the city, and now you're in the city. We need to deepen our understanding of how important this is, and we need to begin facilitating that this that this transfer actually take place. And that can only come, that can best come, I would say, through proper education. That is why many years ago, Srila Prabhupada, he explained, we should immediately, this is like 50 years ago, immediately, and it still has not happened, we should immediately establish in every center, in every temple, in every community, a Varnashram college. So, Varnashram college actually is meant to help us understand what steps we need to take, and is meant to help us understand how, how very destructive it is to continue living this very artificial lifestyle, separated actually from these natural gifts of nature. Cows, land, and cultivation of knowledge. These three are our natural mothers that are meant to help us make advancement in spiritual life. So when we are disconnected with cows, when we're disconnected with the land, and we're only maybe not so regularly hearing from Shastra, naturally, so we need to hear more, we need to educate ourselves, and that is how more easily, more quickly, more of our devotees will be able to understand and do the necessary for making this kind of change. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for giving to us this. Few days back when I went to Pune, His Holiness Chandramani Maharaj was also taking the whole class about this village's life and the farming. But Maharaj, nowadays if you go to the villages and you think the doing of agriculture and farming is completely shifted from these bulls and from animals to the whole technology and capitalism. Nowadays, if you go to the villages, I also come from villages background. Nowadays, so many hybrid seeds are coming. Even the tractor is coming up. Different kind of small machine. They are just doing the things quickly. Whatever that cow and bull are doing, but taking time. So all these villages are shifted to technology. And even the capitalism is also trying to improve us so that they can switch on technology, they can make profit and all this thing. So how can we convey to the villagers or even myself to again return back?
We will convince the villagers when we ourselves become convinced. First you become convinced. First you become educated. Yes. Yes. That is why Srila Prabhupada, that is why we have the Bhagavatam. We need to hear, we need to discuss, we need to understand this particular aspect of dharma, you see. And once we understand, once we know, once we become convinced, then we can go and do something positive. We can become effective by going in the villages. We are, in some places, our devotees are, but actually we don't have, every single temple should actually have a department, a village department. A group of devotees who actually specialize in going to the villages, not only to chant the holy name, that is there, that should always be there, but also understand, help our people in the villages understand that living in the villages, especially doing things as it is mentioned in the Shastra, is actually the best way to live, the best way for us to also advance in Krishna consciousness. So it's again, it is through education. We have to begin by educating ourselves. And if we fail to do this, up to now to a large extent we have failed to do this, then we are not actually understanding this most important instruction given to us by our founder Acharya, and this 50% of his mission will remain 50% for God knows how long. It's high time that we address and try to deal with this most important instruction given by Srila Prabhupada. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Mike has to come here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have one question. So
question.
Maharaj,
I'm here.
From
Last question, but yeah, go ahead.
so we are listening that we need to shift we need to shift to old culture, agriculture culture.
Yes.
So now my question is, so now every government, I think so in the world, every government is pushing the population to shift from agriculture sector to modern service sector. I mean there are three sectors, agriculture sector, modern and industrial sector and service sector. So now,
What is your question? You come to the
like
question.
we can shift to agriculture sector, but government is only not allowing us to shift to agriculture. They are
Okay,
pushing
thank
us
you.
to
Okay, bring it
service
up.
sector.
So what did Prabhupada actually, many years ago when Prabhupada was coming back to India, he was to meet Indira Gandhi at the time. He was having a special meeting. And Prabhupada had listed 10 points that he wanted to discuss. 10 points that he wanted to bring up actually to Indira Gandhi. And one of those points was, one of the recommendations was that before the ministers go to Parliament, they should attend Bhagavatam class. Our leaders all over the world don't know about Bhagavatam. And unless this knowledge is presented in Guru Parampara, in India more people know, because India is a land of Dharma. But the actual Guru Parampara Dharma and the need for re-establishing natural lifestyle, Vedic culture. There's one of the courses we gave last year, 2 years ago, now in January. In 2023, we had in Mayapur Varnashram College. One of the courses was, the title, and I think you can get it, the title of the course was, Our Culture, Agriculture. Our culture begins with agriculture. So we need to, in different ways, it begins with ourselves. We need to educate ourselves, and then we need to, once we are convinced, once we are knowledgeable, we can introduce gradually this knowledge, this understanding to different levels of people within society, up to the ministers and prime ministers and presidents, etc. Yes? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
This was a wonderful